Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. So, this is the monthly astro forecast for the month of March 2025 for the sign of Pisces. Now, this video is definitely for Pisces rising. However, if you are a Pisces sun, you'll likely find a lot of this information relevant to you as well. Just make sure that you watch for your corresponding rising sign so that you get the complete details of what the month has to offer. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, so let's begin with a brief overview of the energy for the month. Okay, but before I get into all of that, I just want to wish all of my March Pisces a happy birthday. I hope that this new year and this new revolution around the sun brings you abundance, great health, wealth, joy, love, and continued blessings. All right, it is your season, so hopefully you're doing something good and something that makes you feel good. All right, so in terms of March, honey, March is a month. There's so much going on astrologically speaking. All right, and for an overview of the general astrology for the month, I will link in the description box below my March monthly astro forecast so you can check that out and understand the general flavor of the month for everyone. All right, but when it comes to you specifically, March is surface level, March is a month where the sun begins in the sign of Pisces and then moves into the sign of Aries. All right, and so for you, that gives you a first house and a second house emphasis. But I want to add that we've got 2 retrogrades, we've got 2 eclipses, we've got the natural new year, and we've got Neptune moving into a different sign. So everything about this month is dynamic in terms of the energy. And the other thing I'll say for you before I get into the details is that there is a heavy emphasis on money this month, okay? There's a lot of Aries energy, and with Aries being your second house, money matters are going to be heavily emphasized this month. All right, so first, let's talk about first house energy. So while the sun is in the sign of Pisces, your sign, there's going to be this emphasis of self, whether it's your outlook, whether it's your physical appearance, whether it's your physical body, right? The first half of March is asking you to really look within, okay? It's asking you to focus on yourself. And with Pisces being a service-oriented sign, all of that service and all of that energy, emotion, and effort perhaps that you put into others, you are really being urged to pour back into yourself. So you can kind of think of the first part of March, to the extent that you can do this, it's really about recalibrating yourself. It's more so about pouring into yourself, self-love. This is going to be big because of the other astrology going on this month, but focus on you for the first half of the month. All right, and then come Aries season, which is the natural new year, money matters are going to be coming top of mind. Now Aries is a starter, it's a planet, or I should say it's a sign concerned with starting new things and initiation. And so when Aries season begins, especially since Mars will no longer be retrograde and Mars is the ruler of Aries, your desire, your motivation, and your drive when it comes to money matters will likely be at an all-time high. So this could look like getting a new job, new income streams, making bold, perhaps even risky moves when it comes to money in ways perhaps that you haven't before. Taking a leap of faith to start something new that's either valuable to you or that can prove lucrative in the future. This is definitely the essence and the flavor of Aries season. All right, so generally speaking, when it comes to the month of March, there's a heavy emphasis on you and a heavy emphasis on your money. Okay, so this gives you the opportunity to course correct certain things. It gives you the opportunity to start new things and start this new revolution either around the sun, if you are a Pisces sun, or around the zodiacal wheel, if you are a Pisces rising. It gives you the opportunity to get yourself right and create the reality that you want to experience. Okay, so now that we've talked about the general energy, let's get a little more specific and talk about the astrology for March. All right, so the month kicks off very first day on March 1st with Venus going retrograde in the sign of Aries. And for you, this is happening in your second house of money and material possessions. So Venus will be retrograde for 40 days and 40 nights beginning on March 1st. And it's kind of a big deal. Did a whole video on it. The link will be in the description box below. But for you, this gives you the opportunity to really reassess your financial life and your financial situation. So if you've got any hangups, insecurities, any obstacles that are sort of standing in the way between you and a healthy financial situation, Venus retrograde will bring those up so that you can course correct. Now, Venus isn't just about money. It's also about things that we value. It's also about self-worth and self-esteem. So those are the issues that may also come up with this Venus retrograde. All right. So whatever does come up, make sure that you don't stuff it under the rug. Try your best to get through it, process it, and learn the lessons that Venus retrograde is here to teach you. Okay. Thereafter, on March 3rd, we have Mercury entering Aries as well. And again, this is highlighting your second house of money and material possessions. Now, Mercury is the planet of ideas and communication. Mercury is also very speedy, busybody energy. So with Mercury entering Aries, you may have a fire lit under your ass when it comes to starting something new regarding finances. Like the thing that's coming to mind right now is that maybe you get really motivated to pay down debt, or maybe you're really focused and passionate about finally starting that new business this year. Mercury entering Aries is going to be great for that. Okay, now the caveat is that shortly after Mercury enters Aries, it's going to go retrograde, but I'll get into that in a second. All right. However, be vocal about what you're doing. Mercury is a communicative planet. And so whatever your plans are, don't be afraid to necessarily share them. I mean, don't tell everyone your business, but at the same time, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So if you have a service, if you have an offering, if you have a product, this is definitely going to be a time to promote yourself, especially if you haven't done it before. Now, maybe you don't own a business, maybe you work for a company. This is going to be the time to speak up, right? Allow yourself to be noticed. Take initiative when it comes to different work projects. It'll likely pay off for you in the long run. Okay. Thereafter, on March 14th, we have the first eclipse of the month, which is a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. Okay. And this is happening in your 7th house of relationships. Now, I forgot to mention before, actually, I think I did mention it, but eclipse season begins in March. Okay. And it's coming through in a very big way. And so the first one is this lunar eclipse in Virgo. Now, lunar eclipses happen during the full moon, and we all know that full moons illuminate and culminate. It's a big crescendo in terms of the lunar cycle. So it is going to shine a floodlight, actually perhaps many floodlights, on your committed relationships, whether they are romantic or business. And because this is an eclipse, whatever is being illuminated may change, may be eclipsed out of your life, may be very emotionally triggering, and not even to say in a bad way, right? Sometimes we can be positively emotionally triggered, that it's like the universe's way of showing us or letting us know that, hey, I want more of this. This is good. I'm going to double down on this, right? Either way, this is happening in your 7th house of relationships. So whatever relationships you're in, whether contractual or just committed, this is going to shed some serious light on that. Okay, so get prepared. Thereafter, on March 15th, we've got Mercury going retrograde in Aries. So like I mentioned before, Mercury in Aries is like, let's start some new things with respect to money, right? Because this is happening in your 2nd house of money and material possessions. And then as soon as Mercury gets into Aries, it goes retrograde. So essentially, the practical use of this energy for you would be the first week of March. Start that new money-making endeavor. Start something new. Take some sort of action step when it comes to a new project, job, whatever it is, anything that could positively benefit your financial situation. Take the step And then while Mercury is retrograde, when it goes retrograde, this is when you're going to fine tune things. Okay, so take the step and then calibrate and recalibrate. Okay, and again, this has everything to do with your finances, your material possessions, your worth, your self-esteem. You get it. Okay. Thereafter, on March 20th, the sun will be entering the sign of Aries, which is again your second house of money and material possessions. Do you notice a theme? Money matters, making money moves is the phrase that pays, or the phrases that pay during the month of March. All right. This is going to heat up your second house. Wherever the sun is where things are activated, heated up, where you see the truth of things, right? Because anything under the light of the sun becomes very visible. All right. So take whatever you see this month or experience this month concerning finances as information that you can use to fix certain things, course correct, and thereby move forward. Thereafter, on March 27th, Venus will retrograde back into Aries, Pisces. Venus will retrograde into Pisces on March 27th, which is your first house of self. So at this time, right, when Venus started her retrograde in Aries, had everything to do with your self-worth, your self-esteem, and your money. When Venus retrogrades back into Pisces and your first house, this is really going to be about self-love. Like I said before, all of the effort, all of the service, all of the love that you give to others, you're going to be urged to pour back into your own cup. And Venus retrograde will definitely help you with that. Thereafter, on March 29th, we have the second eclipse of the month, which is a new moon solar eclipse happening in Aries. And guess what? Again, it's in your second house of money and material possessions. All right, so eclipses are like supercharged moons. And when it's a new moon solar eclipse, it's a new moon on steroids, right? A new moon on steroids is starting something new in a very big way. The phrase that Spirit has been giving me lately is a donkey kick to the face, like anything that really gets you up and going. And with Aries, it's bold, dynamic, and risky energy. So when it comes to this eclipse in your second house, this is about starting something new money-wise in a big way. Now, the thing with eclipses is that the universe has a large hand in them. So a lot of times things will happen outside of our control. It's the universe's way of moving things around in our lives, okay? And so expect new things concerning money to come in from the universe, right? This could be a new job, like easily and effortlessly, a new offering, a new product, anything that can contribute to your bottom line can and likely will be eclipsed into your life at this new moon solar eclipse. That's definitely something to look forward to. Now, that same day, March 29th, we have Mercury going retrograde in Pisces. And this is again happening in your first house of self. So there's going to be an emphasis on yourself, your opinions, your goals, your dreams, and your outlook on life. This is going to be a time that's very mentally introspective for you. So take stock of your inner world. Take stock of any goals, any dreams that you have. This energy is so appropriate given the fact that you're either experiencing your solar return, or if you're a Pisces rising, this is a start of a new revolution around the zodiacal wheel. So Mercury retrograde in your sign come the end of the month is going to be a great time for you to reassess what you want to accomplish within the next year and give you the space and the opportunity to fine tune those details. And then finally, we close out the month on a very high note with Neptune entering Aries on March 30th. And again, guess what? It's happening in your second house of money and material possessions. Now, Neptune is the planet of dreams, of fantasies, of goals, right? Neptune is so otherworldly. There's a spiritual element to Neptune, and this is important. So I want you to listen up for this, for what I'm about to say. With all of this energy in your second house of money and material possessions, there will likely be this, let me put it this way. Aries is very dynamic, it's very autonomous, it's very extroverted, it's very much about doing. So you may feel this urge or this desire or this push to really take matters into your own hands, to do all of the things when it comes to your finances. But come the end of the month when Neptune enters Aries, it's important for you to understand the phrase, as above, so below. Everything begins in the ethers. Everything begins in the spiritual realm before we experience it here in this 3D reality. So not only is a new financial situation an inside job, but you have to embody money. You have to embody abundance before you can actually see it. And Neptune in Aries is definitely going to help you out with that. So this month, a practical tip is to get into a regular meditation or prayer practice, right? Daily would be best, right? But if you can't do daily, every couple of days or weekly would be good. And take the time to imagine, to embody, right? We often put imagination in a box and shove it in a corner because sometimes we view it as child's play, right? Who has time to imagine? I've got bills to pay. I've got work to do. I've got a family to take care of. But how do you think you're going to embody the energy if you don't play with it? If you don't imagine already having it, right? It's like when you were little and you were playing pretend or make-believe. You were that doctor. You were that wife. You were that whatever, right? Take the time to do that this month, particularly towards the end of the month. That's how you're going to set the stage for financial abundance and a true change in your financial life. All right, so hopefully you heed that advice. All right, so now let's get into some important dates within the month of March that you'll want to pay attention to. All right, so as a Pisces rising, you have two ruling planets, Jupiter and Neptune. So whatever either of those planets are doing currently in the sky and whatever they are doing in your natal chart will always be of utmost importance to you. So the following dates represent either the transits of Neptune or Jupiter or just really important dates within the month of March. All right, so the first date you'll want to pay attention to is March 14th, and this is when we have the lunar eclipse in Virgo. Now, Virgo energy is ruled by Mercury, so that's not your chart ruler. However, Virgo is your sister sign. It's the sign that is opposite yours. And with this particular eclipse happening in your relationship sector, it's obviously of significance. All right, so you're going to feel the energy of the eclipse very strongly because it will be happening opposite to your rising sign, your ascendant, I should say. Relationships and relationship patterns will be revealed. All right, and things may be eclipsed out. Perhaps things that you rely on a daily basis, relationships that are very much embroiled in your daily life. There's going to be some changes on those fronts. All right, so it's nothing to fear. It's just information. All right, so keep your eye. Well, you're not going to have to keep your eyes out for that. It'll become very obvious to you. But the 14th is one of those significant days within the month of March for you. The next date you'll want to pay attention to is March 19th, and this is Sun conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Okay, so this is happening in your first house. So you can expect clarity of purpose. You can also expect seeing visions, dreams clearly, and those dreams and visions becoming activated. You know, Pisces energy is very esoteric. It's very much removed from ego, theoretically speaking. So when we have dreams, right, sometimes they feel like they are so lofty or they're not concrete. However, Sun conjunct Neptune on March 19th can not only help them become concrete, but can help you see them clearly without all of the fog, the confusion, and perhaps the illusion. So this is going to be a very eye-opening and enlightening day. And then finally, you'll want to pay attention to March 30th. This is when your ruling planet Neptune will be entering the sign of Aries, which is your second house of money and material possessions. All right, so the focus is going to be off of yourself now and more on your finances. This is going to be a time when you can take steps towards your dreams. And Neptune in Aries can help you be a little more optimistic, a little more imaginative, a little more happy even, right? Rose-colored glasses kind of energy when it comes to your money and material possessions. So again, March is about making money moves, and you can do it in various ways. The retrogrades will have you really taking a hard look at your inner world, what you value, what you believe, any hang-ups concerning wealth, abundance, and worth. And then there's also going to be some energy that's going to be extroverted, energy that's going to motivate you or light that fire that can help you take initiation, take the beginning steps, baby steps even, right? When it comes to your financial life and your financial situation. All right, my loves. So that concludes this video on the monthly astro forecast for the month of March for the sign of Pisces. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information that you can use going into March and beyond. All right, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.